Hello everyone, my name is Sanjay Parashar. Welcome back to the channel. Today we will dive a bit deeper into REST adapter in Oracle Integration Cloud. As we already know, the REST adapter in OIC can be configured in two roles. Trigger role, where you expose your integration as a REST service, and invoke role, where you use REST adapter to call an external REST API. In today's video, we will look at REST adapter in both trigger and invoke roles. And we will also use the most commonly used HTTP methods, which are GET and POST. Before we jump into the demo, let's quickly discuss today's use case. Today, we will use a public REST API to both get and post data. If you go to the website restful-api.dev, you will find a set of REST APIs that are publicly available for testing and learning purpose. First, let's quickly look at how this API works and what kind of request and response it expects. So this is the API. As you can see, it has tons of different methods. What we will use is uh, get and post. Let me just put this on the postman and let's see how the expected response or request looks like. So in this, let's say if we do get, we click send, and it returns all these IDs, object IDs. However, we will use post to publish a message. For example, we want to publish, let's say, my test data 2, and once you submit it, it returns an ID. So that means this is added to the system, and we can call this my test data 2, or we can get this data either by using get here as a URI parameter, also known as template parameter. So if I click send, we get our data here, or it also gives us an option to use ID as a query parameter, and we can give this uh, ID, we'll send it, and this is how my test data 2 will come. So we will be using in our today's demo this post operation to insert an ID, and this get to get an ID. Now that we understand the API, let's move to OIC and build our integrations. We will create two OIC integrations, one integration to get an object from an external REST API, another integration to post an object to the same API. This will help us understand how REST adapter works as both a trigger and an invoke. Let's start the demo and build these two services step by step. So from our OIC console's home screen, we can go to design, integrations, and we can create integration of application type. Let's call this integration as host ID. I'll click on create, and here we need to add a trigger, which is a trigger point for our service. Let's just create a common REST connection that can be used for get or post, whatever. So I'm just gonna create a connection here. It should be of REST type, of course, and I'll call it REST common connector, and I want it to be of a trigger type, and let's create it. Under here, I'll just keep basic authentication. We can test it, save it, and go back. And now here, we can simply just add that connector. We can call this now the first service we want to post an ID, and then we want to use second service to get that ID data. So now we can say demo post. Let's click on next, and I'll say post here, and we need to give uh, a URL here, which a resource URI here, which could be anything. So for example, we can say service demo post, something like that. And then to post, we will definitely need a request payload, and which will also give us a response payload. So if we see the postman here, under post, we do not have any, I would say, we have a header application JSON, but we do not have like a query parameter or a template parameter, and we have this body. So let me just save it because this will come in handy. Now we don't have a parameter, but we have a request and response payload, and then we'll click on continue. And now we will give the request payload here. It's a sample, so we'll click on continue, and we can give application over JSON here. And then the response, let's copy the response from the postman, and continue and finish. So now this essentially is our trigger point, and now we want to call this particular service in order to post it. So where the host will be API RESTful API .dev, and the resource URL will be object. So now we will need to create a connection of REST that is of invoke type. So let's do that. There you go. So connections, we can just create one connection of REST. It should say REST object invoke. So that's the name that I'm choosing, and it will be of invoke type. Let's create. And now because if it is of invoke type, it is going to ask me for some connection properties. So connection type will be REST base URL, and if you have an open API document or a URL, you can put it here that lists the entire signature of your REST API. But if you don't have that, you can stick to simple API base URL. Now let me copy the URL from Postman. And this doesn't have any security. You can test it, save it, and back. Now here we can add our object invoke. We can say post ID here. It will be a post method, and the URL is slash objects. Let's just confirm that. Yes, slash objects. Now this has a request payload, a response payload. Click on next, and then again for request payload, let's just copy this request here, and application type, media type is application over JSON. Next, and then the response, let's copy from here, and continue and finish. Excellent. Let me just delete this. We don't really need this now. We want to map whatever message that user sends to our API. We need to map that to post invoke. So let's just edit this map. So it essentially has name and data. Under our request also it should be name and data because we use the same uh, kind of schema. So name to name, and all the data. Then you can validate. All good. You can go back. So now we will be able to call this However, now this response needs to be mapped to our demo post. So if I come here, I can search map and I can add a map here, and it needs to be going to the demo post. So I'll select this demo post here. So now my source will essentially becomes the response of post ID, which will give me an ID, right? ID, name, and data. And it needs to be mapped to the response of my service, which is demo post. So let's map ID to ID, name to name. Let's validate this, go back. And as a matter of fact, I think our service is done, unless there are more things like adding a fault handling. We could have done get and post in one service itself, but at this point we just want to make sure that you understand how REST works for invoke as well as trigger. So we'll keep it simple for now. Let's come here and then add an identifier. Let's give this name, save. Let's go back and we can activate it. I'll keep it debug for now. So it's active. Now we can run it. So this is our URL of our service. Now we need to, under body, we need to give some name, data, and year. So let's just give uh, first object here. We can keep year and price same, no worries. So now let's run it, and it should return us an ID here. So it is working, and we can also see in the debug mode that it called the post ID URI with the values, and it returned 200, and it also returned our data. We can check here that it has been successfully processed. So if I put the ID here, and we should be able to see our first object. So now let's just do that in our OIC. I'll create another integration. This is get ID data. I can use the common connector. This time it will be get, and let me see what will be the resource URI of this. So resource URI remains the same, which is hyphen object. So let me just select that. Now this will need a query parameter. As you can see here, it has an ID as a query parameter, which takes the ID and gives us the data back. However, the another URI that we can see is here, it's a template parameter, also known as URI parameter. So if we want to do this rather than query parameter, the way it will work is from here you will need to give something like this. So this will ensure that you get this as a template parameter. So for example, if I keep this and I move my cursor, you see this is add a new review parameter option. This is graded out, and it is added here as a template parameter right now. Like if I go back and if I remove this, now I get an option to explicitly select whether I want a query parameter or not. So in this case, let's just stick with query parameter, and we need the response as well. So now I'll continue. I will add a query parameter called ID, which is of string type. Let's continue. And now we will give response copied from the response of our API here and finish. Now we will need to add an invoke call to that REST API where we will be able to get the ID details. So let me just click this plus icon here. We can reuse this REST object invoke. And this is just objects. Yes, it adds a parameter. It also has a response. Click on next. The parameter is ID, which is of string type. And the response is what we have from the postman. On continue and finish. Now we can again same. We'll need to give ID to ID so that it can fetch the data. So let's just do that real quick and validate. Looks good. We'll go back and now we need to map the response. ID to ID, name to name. All right, this is done. Let's just add an identifier for tracking purpose. I can give ID, just save it, and we can activate it. And let's just run it. And let me copy the ID from here. And it returned first object. So that's how you can kind of reuse the connectors, and that's how you will use REST adapters as trigger role or invoke role or both. In the upcoming videos, we will build on top of what we have created today. We will add things like conditional logic, using switch action, then lookups, fault handling as well. So make sure you stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep learning.